In today's video, we're going to talk about the lawsuit between Social Gloves and LiveXLive, who has a past of their own. It's clear that the YouTuber versus TikToker boxing event underperformed. There are a lot of people out of money looking for their money, but I have a feeling that Austin McBroom will not accept those results. So let's get into it. If you guys don't know who the Ace family is, they're a family vlogging channel with 19 million subscribers here on YouTube. Originally, the father, Austin McBroom, was a basketball player in college. Then he became a YouTuber with his wife, Catherine. They have 3 beautiful children that you would think they'd be a little bit more concerned about their actions for, but they're not, and Austin has created a slew of businesses along with his wife that have failed and allegedly scammed people. And we've talked about these before on my channel. Actually, throwback to when I bought their juice that they sell and I tried it on camera. But today we're going to talk about another one of Austin's business ventures that have not gone down well. It seems like Austin McBroom was trying to copy KSI and the Paul brothers when they became boxers, and he thought that if they could do it, he could do it himself. And he did do it. You can give him that. But did he do it well? Because now we've got a bunch of these fighters from the event who haven't gotten paid, and we have huge companies who are suing each other. Before we dive into the lawsuit and everything and his recent paparazzi moment, which he definitely called up all the paparazzis to meet him outside this restaurant, let me introduce you guys to everyone we're talking about today. So of course, we're going to be talking about the Ace family because they're at the center of everything. This was Austin McBroom's idea to throw this whole boxing tournament, so he created the mess. Then we have Social Gloves, which is one of Austin's companies, and he used this company to put together the event. Social Gloves is also known as Simply Greatness Productions. You guys can tell that Social Gloves and Simply Greatness, SG, well, pretty much this company is like the umbrella company of Social Gloves. So if Social Gloves needed to file bankruptcy, it won't be the Ace family or their Ace Hat company. It would be this company, Simply Greatness Productions. So we have Austin McBroom, aka the Ace family, and then we have Social Gloves and Simply Greatness Productions. That side is suing the other side, which is LiveXLive and Paul Caesars. You guys have probably heard of LiveXLive before. They're a pretty big company, a pretty shady company as well, but they were responsible for pretty much streaming out the event to everyone and selling all of those tickets that were going to pay for the fighters. And then we have this Paul dude, this Paul Caesars guy, who, if you look at his LinkedIn, it literally says deal maker at the entire entertainment industry, can bring deals / offers to any celeb in the world. This guy, I'm trying to figure him out because he actually owns 7% of 1212 Gateway, and he's also very much involved in this whole Social Gloves boxing tournament situation. So this guy, I don't know if I should trust it. I mean, he says he's a deal maker, but I don't know if it's a good deal. That's the real question here. Of course, like we've discussed, Austin actually ended up suing LiveXLive and blaming them for everything going wrong with this event. The event itself went on pretty smoothly, but you guys could tell by the venue, if you look at photos, that it was so incredibly empty, which that's concerning to investors. So why is Austin McBroom / Social Gloves suing LiveXLive? Well, they claim that LiveXLive is holding back a bunch of the money, and the money they are holding back, they're not being upfront with, because Austin thinks they made a lot more than they actually made, or at least what LiveXLive is claiming they made. And Austin is accusing this company of $10 million in losses, which is a lot of money. There's also a lot of discrepancies with the whole pay-per-view situation. LiveXLive claims they only sold about 136,000, which sounds like a lot, but isn't a lot when you are throwing a huge event. Austin was expecting at least 1 million of these pay-per-views being sold. So 136,000 is a lot less. According to Austin's lawyer's complaint, they claim that LiveXLive never provided Simply Greatness Productions, so that's also Social Gloves and also the Ace family, with the accounting of the event. This has led to a bunch of the fighters, including Austin McBroom and Bryce Hall, to not getting paid. If you think about the event itself, it really had bad timing because there was a bunch of like boxing happening within like 1 week. Like I remember there was the Floyd situation, and then there was what was it, like Aaron Carter versus Lamar Odom, which if you guys want a video about Aaron Carter, let me know. I've been thinking about it lately. But I feel like Social Gloves was set up for failure. Less than a week before the whole Social Gloves event, there was the whole Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul fight, which again, like people are kind of like, they don't need that much boxing. Like we just watched them fight. We don't need to go watch all these other like YouTubers and stuff fight. I feel like it is oversaturation of the market. I mean, both events were held at the same venue. So if like a YouTuber fan of like Logan Paul's, also like these other guys like are going to go to Miami for the event on the 6th, they're not going to be able to afford to stay like another week for the event on the 12th. So it was pretty bad timing. Keep in mind, guys, that Austin is also suing Paul Caesars, the deal maker, because he was one of those like main characters in this whole like negotiation process with LiveXLive. So he's pretty much grouping Paul and LiveXLive together. We know that Austin McBroom and the Ace family aren't like, they're not the best people because they have like scam people and they're not reliable, but I don't think LiveXLive is a great entity either. They're all kind of bad people. I mean, if you think about like the Ace family's track record, it's not like a reputable company is going to be like, oh yeah, like we're signing you on. Like they're going to have to get some other scheming company to work with them. It actually turns out that LiveXLive is facing 8 open lawsuits all over some law firms and some music festivals not getting paid. So this company doesn't know how to pay their bills. And it looks like they've been getting in trouble for some time. So honestly, like Social Gloves should have just done their research, or they did their research, they just didn't care. Recently on June 28th, the company released their financials and it showed that they racked up $41 million of losses for the years, which goes up to $169 million lost since they became a public company in 2017. That is not good. And now this company, LiveXLive, is trying to use the Social Gloves event as a way to try to get more future boxing events. Like as proof, like, oh, we threw this event with Social Gloves, so come and hire us. They're literally coming out with their own boxing event this year, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So that was a great article from Billboard that gave us an overview of what's going on. But let's go ahead and dive into these actual court files and talk about what's happened. First off, this is a screenshot of a page that shows the case information. You guys can see the case number. Go look it up for yourself if you want to. You can also see that both Paul and LiveXLive are being sued here. So here is the first page of the court filing, and you guys can see the 6 charges right up here. The first one is breach of contract. The second one is fraudulent inducement, which is pretty much someone trying to like convince someone of committing fraud. The third one is negligent misrepresentation. The fourth one is breach of implied duty of good faith and fair dealing. The fifth one is accounting, and the sixth is unfair competition. Pretty much a bunch of business lingo blaming everything on LiveXLive. Here's the first page of the complaint if you guys want to pause and read it, but everything we went through in the article pretty much is stated here. And here is another page that Austin McBroom's lawyer submitted calling out LiveXLive and that man Paul. But Austin has taken this all to the next level. So our good friend Kevin Wong is one of these videographer paparazzi out here, and he posted a video of Austin McBroom along with a bunch of other paparazzi people. And I want to give a shout out to Kevin because I know they like their credit, so I'm giving you credit, Kevin, and I'll link your YouTube channel below in the description. But I wanted to bring up some of the statements that Austin made recently. He went out to eat with his brother Landon, and when they came out of the restaurant, there was a bunch of paparazzi there waiting for him. So let's go ahead and review some of the footage and some of the claims he's making, because I think he's making it a lot worse. Austin starts off by thanking the paparazzi and everyone for the success of the whole tournament, which doesn't really add up with everything that we're hearing, but I think he's trying to project that it was very successful so that like he's making LiveXLive look bad, and it's not about the lack of sales.
It means the world to me, man. For those people who were there, you guys know how much of a success it was. It was amazing feeling, great event. Turnout was amazing. But let me go ahead and explain a little bit, because obviously for the past couple weeks I've been used as a punching bag. I've been having to bite my tongue for several reasons. One reason is I didn't want to be sued. But now that the lawsuit is filed against LiveXLive, Social Gloves is suing LiveXLive for several reasons.
I don't know which boxing event Austin was at, and I do think it was a success, but could have been a lot bigger, a lot better. Probably, just because the turnout wasn't that great. In this next clip, he's going to address some of the rumors going around, and then we'll talk about like why LiveXLive is the one to blame.
So the two rumors are Social Gloves is bankrupt, which is cap. It's false. It's not true. Everyone that was at the event knows that there was probably like 20,000 people there. Just at the gate alone, we probably made $3 or $4 million. So Social Gloves is not bankrupt at all.
Keep going. Okay.
The second thing is saying that fighters did not get paid. Yes, fighters have not got paid yet, including myself. But that is because LiveXLive. So let me break down LiveXLive and how Social Gloves works, right? Just in case the fans don't really know how boxing events happen.
Okay, wait, so first off, he claims that Social Gloves made about $3 or $4 million. So he kind of did get paid, but also at the same time, like, that's not as much as they needed, because if Bryce Hall is getting paid $5 million, who's going to be paying these bills? But we don't need Austin to explain how this works. I can quickly explain to you guys what he said, because he goes on to explain that LiveXLive was responsible for streaming the event and collecting the pay-per-view. So people who are purchasing the event, LiveXLive, managed the platform and also managed all the sales. So this company, LiveXLive, has been holding on to the funds, and that's why Austin is suing them, because they're claiming that all the money they've made just isn't being accounted for and he doesn't have access to it. Now let's get into the pay-per-view discussion, because I think that's the most fascinating part.
But it's unfortunate because no one really knows the number of pay-per-view buys we did. Everyone knows how big the event was, right? You got some creators like Logan Paul saying we did 100,000. Obviously, he's gonna throw dirt on it because he sees me as a threat. He's in the same field I'm in, so it makes sense. I'm not mad at him. It's gonna happen, and it's a part of the game. Then you got other creators like KSI saying we did 300,000. So no one really knows.
Right.
On the other hand, we got Gibb, who's one of the fighters that was in the event. He heard we did over 2 million pay-per-view buys, and that was in the locker room.
So how do you authenticate it?
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. So that's why the lawsuit is taking place. And through time, we're going to find that.
How long do you think it'll take for the fighters to get paid?
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack there. Let's talk about the ending, because the paparazzi asks Austin, when are they going to get paid? When are their fighters going to get paid? And he says, by the next event, which I thought was really odd because we don't even know when the next event is. Like, what if there isn't one? But he claims that all the fighters will get paid by the next event, which we don't know when that's happening. The pay-per-view situation. Okay, so LiveXLive is claiming they sold about 136,000 pay-per-views. And I kind of believe them. I don't think that they're, maybe they're lowballing, but I don't think that they are. You guys may remember that actually Social Gloves posted a statement on their story claiming that everything is a rumor, but he wants people to send in their receipts of the pay-per-view to prove that they have more than 136,000. He also went to his personal Instagram to call out the pay-per-views, claiming that there are a lot more than what this other company's claiming, and it was successful. I really don't know how to approach this situation. Like, if I were Austin, I wouldn't know what to do, but what they are doing is a little bit bizarre. So Social Gloves doesn't really have a company. That's why I showed their Instagram at the beginning of this video, because there's not like not a company, but they don't have a website anyways. But they do have one website, and the website is dedicated to receiving the receipts from the pay-per-views to use that in their lawsuit against LiveXLive. So they're trying to have all their fans send in their information with the screenshot of their purchase. They actually have the chance to win $20,000, which, oh my gosh, they should have just put it there as please help us, give us your receipts. But no, they have to put a $20,000 lottery attached to this, which I think is probably gonna be another scam. There's nobody's gonna get this $20,000 if nobody's getting paid out here. But yeah, their website is pretty much just designed to collect these receipts, and I'm guessing they're gonna just use them against LXL. Sorry, I should have said it out. LiveXLive. It's weird because even the law documents refer to LiveXLive as LXL. Anyways, this approach seems very bizarre to me. So nobody really knows how well this event went down. I mean, Austin would say it was a major success. One of the fighters said they sold 2 million pay-per-views, which how would this dude know out of everyone else? Please stop. But there is one thing going on that I think is very shady. LXL, LiveXLive, is actually throwing their own event. Let Austin explain it to you.
And for LiveXLive to hold on to the funds and act like the event wasn't a success. And the crazy thing is, they're going to act like the numbers were low, but now they're jacking my idea and doing their own event in the next 2 months. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Austin is right here because LiveXLive is actually stealing his idea. He had the idea of doing a fully female boxing tournament with all these influencers, and it looks like LiveXLive is actually doing it. It's called Self-Made Knockout. And it's literally what Austin has been proposing on his social media for some time, the first all-female influencer boxing competition, which I just think that this company like is so like unstable that they're now throwing this event after they're being sued like 8 different lawsuits. They obviously can't pay off their last event, and now they're throwing another one. Like whoever's involved with this, they made some bad choices. The question is, if this company is so bad, then why did Austin go and work with them in the first place?
Anybody that does their research on LiveXLive, I'm not gonna sit here and bash people because that's not my nature. But if you do your research on LiveXLive, they're in 5 different lawsuits. They're in debt like $50 million. So it makes sense why they would take advantage of a situation like this. And those low pay-per-view numbers just don't make any sense. You know what they try to claim? They try to claim that the UK only brought in 5K buys. You're telling me that the biggest creators in the UK, Gibb, Deji, even KSI was pro in the fight. You're telling me those 3 biggest creators only sold 5K tickets?
No.
You think that doesn't make any sense.
No,
You're telling me the
Are they
Ace family,
hiding
the
views?
Ace family, listen, the Ace family alone is one of the strongest fan bases on social media,
We saw
right?
the basketball game.
At the basketball event 2 years ago at Staples Center, we had over 300,000 people watching just a basketball event.
The
So you're telling me
basketball
the
game,
Ace family alone can't bring in a couple 100,000
No,
buys?
I saw it.
It don't make any sense.
I get Austin's frustration because he's like, wait, I'm like one of the biggest like YouTubers out here with like 19 million subscribers. How am I not even like pulling in enough like pay-per-views to just like run this whole thing? But I just feel like the whole boxing like culture, it's cool. That's about it. Like, it's cool to watch, but like I'm not like so hyped. Like I'm not like really excited to see all my YouTubers go and fight, especially if you think about the root of his like popularity. He's literally a family channel, and his channel and his content is focused around his children. So these kids who are watching your kids on your YouTube channel aren't going to go and take their parents' phone and pay for the pay-per-view and go and watch you box. That's just not how it's going to work. That's not your fan base. But of course, Austin's mother has to get involved in this, and she posted a whole thing on her story saying that Austin is here to make change. He's going to expose injustice some big companies do to hard-working, creative people. White-collar crimes hurt people, just like robbery on the street. However, executives get away with it wearing expensive clothes, driving fancy cars, and using their education and privileges to make others feel they can't win. Not today. Austin McBroom is not one to stand down. You should have asked me who he was before you took him on, since you did not ask God. I'm so proud of him. Oh my gosh. Honestly, like, I think it's a bunch of crap, but also like his mom rooting for him like this, like that's goals. Like that's mom goals. Like she like she looks down at her son and she sees nothing, 0 things wrong with him. Maybe she does, but she's not going to acknowledge him. And honestly, like, day one fan, I guess. But this event is going to affect a lot of people, and this lawsuit isn't going to be pretty because Social Gloves and Austin McBroom made a bunch of claims against LiveXLive, and we need to see what LiveXLive is going to say back because they might object or, you know, something. But these companies are so intertwined. I mean, if you look at Social Gloves like website, like it's pretty much just LiveXLive. Like they just own like Social Gloves like presence in the internet world, like not their Instagram, but like there's a lot of collaboration between these two, and the fact that they have fallen apart is going to tear up this whole Social Gloves company. Like, I feel like bankruptcy is coming up. And it's not just Austin McBroom or Bryce Hall who aren't getting paid. There are so many people involved with this project who did a job and aren't getting paid, or investors who invested and lost a bunch of money, like this one basketball player. You guys probably recognize James Harden, especially if you guys pay attention to basketball. I was surprised to see, if you see his salary down there, he's literally making like $41 million a year, so he's probably not worried about his investment into this like Social Gloves scam. But it's interesting to see like professionals and celebrities being dragged into this. An article from Billboard walked through all of the losses involved with the Social Gloves situation, and James Harden is one of those key sponsors who missed out. Something interesting I found from this article was the fact that the artists who performed at the event, like DJ Khaled and Lil Baby, they were actually paid. But we don't know about the Migos, but they were paid off. I assume they were all just paid paid right away, which I feel like maybe the fighters should have probably asked for some money up front as well. But this article mentions the fact that this whole situation lost about $10 million with investors, producers, and 15 boxers still fighting to get paid. So it turns out that James Harden was one of the main investors in this event, which cost about $20 million to produce. So that's a lot of money that goes into it, and if it's not coming out, it's not looking good. But it looks like James Harden's business manager actually declined to comment, so they're trying to figure it out behind the scenes. LiveXLive has been upfront with how much they sold, which wasn't enough. 135,000 pay-per-view packages is what this article claims, and they said they needed about 500,000 to break even, so just to pay everyone off without making any money. But a lot of people are starting to point fingers, and they're pointing it at Austin McBroom because they claim that it's his fault for the event's lackluster sales and exploding costs. They said that the 29-year-old Austin McBroom approved a spiraling budget, but didn't put in the work to properly market the event. So they're saying, oh, no, it's not our fault that you can't sell because you're the influencer here. And honestly, I think that's the biggest thing to Austin's ego, is that he cannot accept that he didn't make that much, he didn't sell that much, and that the event didn't do what it was supposed to do. And maybe that was because it came right after the whole Floyd Mayweather and Logan fight, which actually Austin's so pressed on that. There was one comment he made during this paparazzi interview, and I can't stop thinking about it because he brought up a lie. He tried to create a rumor that Logan Paul hasn't gotten paid by Floyd Mayweather from the Floyd Mayweather fight, which is a lie. And it seems like he's just trying to deflect everything onto everyone else, trying to act like his event did sell a lot when it probably didn't. And I have a feeling he's going to try to shape this lawsuit into being a LiveXLive stole the money and isn't being upfront about the pay-per-views, when LiveXLive is probably just we just really undersold. But look at Austin try to create a rumor right here in front of the paparazzi, and honestly, his face makes me think that he's on something. He's trying to create rumors about freaking Logan Paul.
Logan, he didn't get paid anything from Mayweather. He actually paid Mayweather to fight him.
Wow. Is that true? That's crazy.
But that's what I'm saying. You guys just believe that, right? Because I just made it up. Just by me saying that could have been a rumor.
Okay, there you go.
And that's how easy social media is, right?
Right.
But I'm not that of a person. I could have, act like it was real, but I'm joking just to show you how easy a rumor.
He's oh, I could have just started that rumor, but I'm just trying to show you guys how easy it is to start rumors. It seems like he's a little bit hurt because Logan Paul or the Paul brothers were over here saying that they only sold 100,000 pay-per-views, which is kind of true, and Austin's still really hurt over that. Honestly, I feel so bad just for honestly, I feel bad for everyone. I even feel bad for Austin too, because usually he's the master manipulator here, but I just feel like he was given too much control, too much power over this event, and he made it exactly how he wanted to, as he should. But he's not a businessman. Yeah, he may kind of is, but he's not I don't want to say. I'm not going to say he's not a smart businessman, but he's obviously not super experienced if he's over here creating a $20 million budget for a event that can't even bring in half of that amount. You know what I mean? There needs to be some type of investors or financial people involved in these situations, or Austin and his family are going to continue to suffer. And I really, again, feel bad for the kids, because back when I was an Ace Family fan and I would watch them, I just loved their family. Even nowadays, they're super positive on their videos, even though they're constantly flexing everything, but they do radiate a sense of positivity, and I don't understand how they continue with that, especially with all these lawsuits and everything going on. So honestly, kudos to them for being able to keep everything happy, I guess, and hopefully their children are happy and really unaware of everything going on. I really don't wish any legal mess on anyone, because it's not really fun. And honestly, it's been pretty hard to cover all of these lawsuits because there have been so much. If you guys have not seen my previous videos, definitely go check them out. But I'm going to continue to update you guys on these lawsuits or anything else you guys want me to talk about. I've got my email right here, so if you have any video ideas, feel free to reach out. Let's go ahead and pick up a P.O. Box package item, because I got a few in the mail today. Oh my gosh, look how cool this box is. What? The colors, I want to have to keep this box. What is going on here? Okay, so it looks like it's from someone named Daisy. Oh, I love that name. Oh, the box and the name is just giving me such vibes. Okay, let's go ahead and open this. If you guys ever want to send me anything to my P.O. Box, I've got it listed below. but no pressure. I'm like, ugh, I'm gonna like literally hurt myself on camera. Okay. I don't want to rip the box because I'm trying to keep it for real. I'm not even playing. I'm not. Ooh, here we go. I'm really scared of this thing. It's like very sharp. Okay. How do I do it? Oh. Okay. Let's see what's in here. I'm so nervous. Is there a note? Is there a note? Okay. Oh wait, maybe there's a note inside this. Okay. Let's check it out. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yay. Okay, here's the note. Sloan, Daisy. Do you recognize the smell? I don't know. I do kind of... I do recognize it, but I don't understand, like, how I would. Okay, let's see what this is right here. So it looks like she sent me a note, and it's packaged very well. Almost too well, Daisy. Okay, let's see. Oh, so Sloan, Daisy. Okay, and here is another note right here. Oh, it's like getting all to them. Okay. I've gone through and continue. Oh, wrong side. Sloan. Oh my gosh, they wrote a song. Sloan, a slong? Oh my god. Sloan, baby, I just adore you. You are doing such an amazing job with your Brittany deep dives. Very tasteful and respectful as well as informative. Thank you, Sloan. I feel so passionate about Brittany's situation. I do too. I have been a fan of her since the beginning, and her and I are the same age, and I have painfully and emotionally watched her go through so much of some things. Okay, I have gone through, and continue to go through. She either went through it right after I did, or around the same time. Also, you feel really connected to her. Anyhow, Sloan, keep doing what you're doing. You are such a gem. If I had a son, I would want him to be just like you. Aw, that's so sweet, Daisy. Thank you so much. God bless and much love. Thank you. Let's go ahead and see what she sent me. The smell is really getting me. Oh my gosh, it smells like... What is that smell? I do know the smell. Look at this. Oh my gosh, it's a free Brittany tea. This thing is wild looking. Oh my gosh. Is it tie-dye? It almost looks like paint splatter. Oh, this is so cool. Thank you so much, Daisy. I really appreciate this, and I really appreciate that you have such a good connection with Brittany and that you relate to her on such a personal level. We are going to fight to free her together. Thank you so much. I love this shirt, and I'll see you guys in a new video soon. Bye, guys.